Peace, guys. How's it going? Patrick, Conservative Rap. And in this video, we're going to talk about trades, war, and Trump's economic fight for the future of civilization, Western civilization at the very least, and civilization in the sense that we know it, where we're effectively free, or at the very least have some semblance of freedom. Some of the clips that I'm going to cover in this post are extremely important. You'll get a sense from it from the first one, because what most people think of as a trade war, I would think of, and many of what I would consider very prominent socio-political and historical analysis uh, covers as a real war, right? The trend of history is for war and conflict to become more esoteric and complex. So as we look at some of these events and as we think about where our future is headed, it's very important we understand that it's not just economics, it's actual true global civilizational change. It's a fight for the future that's actually happening. So first from the Telegraph, all right, and this is Keir Starmer, the UK Prime Minister. Check this out. The world as we knew it has gone. Nobody wins from a trade war. So this is the Prime Minister of UK coming out and effectively towing and bowing the knee to Trump. And the first line of it, check this, the first line of his article reads, first it was defense and national security. Now it is the global and economic trade. Right? Old assumptions can no longer be taken for granted. The world as we knew it has gone. We must rise to meet the moment. So this article highlights Keir Starmer's vision for navigating the challenges of global instability. A lot of it is fluff, right? He's emphasizing the importance of free trade, though, economic resilience, and national security, and advocates for diplomacy, industrial policy, and investment in defense to protect British interests and the working people. It's really, I think, indicative of Trump winning. And what I think a lot of people have feared, especially the leftists with their fear mongering through the media, has really miscategorized with some of the tariffs that have recently released. This is just going to be the first of a lot. All right, and next from Newsweek, you'll see a lot of articles on this. Check this out. Keir Starmer, hold on, globalization era dead since new tariffs, U.S. ally says. So this is an article, some of the global economic tensions. The tariffs, including a 10% baseline and higher rates for specific countries. 10% for the UK, they got the least of it, but higher for other countries, including 34% for China. Bolster the U.S. economy, but risk escalating into a trade war, right? British Prime Minister Keir Starmer and other leaders have voiced concerns about the potential fallout, emphasizing the importance of diplomacy and balanced trade relationships. That's what the article talks about, but check the headline. Globalization era dead since new tariffs, right? The end of this whole global, we are the world, America bends over backwards and we become slaves for some ruling class. That's what a lot of this really drives at. And lastly, from the Gateway Pundit, this is what I really love. Trump's tariffs aren't just economics. They're Americans' defense in the globalist communist hybrid war. So it's a long article. I'm going to read some clips from it. But I really like what this guest contributor pointed out, because it talks about the segue from the economic battles that we're seeing now into World War G. There was World War I, World War II, and instead of World War III, it's a war against globalization that these tariffs are affecting. So let's read a little clip from it. The reaction from the left to President Donald Trump's new tariff regime has been predictable. Like everything it does, this too will kill us all somehow. It's disturbing to see how many on the right, though, are either in agreement with this knee-jerk leftist invective or express varying degrees of confusion. Some, like this article he cites some other articles, seem to be hedging, right? Playing both sides. The tariffs might work or they might not, they say, which is, obvious. Being a wartime president is a high wire act, right? and he's quoting this article, the PR battles matter greatly because your capacity to fight is limited by the electorate's stomach for the mission. If you can't sell the war, you're probably not going to win it. But I think that's a foolish viewpoint, because if you're a leader, you're not worried about how the people will react. You're actually leading. You're doing something unique, and you're driving to a new reality. And whether or not the people around you get it at first is not as relevant as to the actual North Star that you're facing. But so again, going back to the article, but all the cool, crafty PR tricks won't mean a lick if your troops get their tushies kicked on the battlefield. War is a reality-based enterprise. You can't BS your way to victory. So I get it, and this is the author of this article talking. There's a risk to this strategy. There's a risk to every strategy, however, and what's interesting about this editorial is that the writer has hit very close to the mark by characterizing Trump as a wartime president. Though in the writer's mind, the war in question is a figurative trade war and not an actual war, a war. So again, I'll link to this article specifically because I like where he's going. Remember, what we're really doing is shifting into a new reality. And just like a patient, I think there's a clip from Trump on Truth Social where he's making an analogy between like a patient recovering from surgery and what we're recovering from some of these ripple effects in the economy. Look forward to more, guys. And remember, and I'll quote from the bottom of this article, like all world wars, this is going to call for an extraordinary effort on the part of everyone in the country. But at the very least, we need to be fighting it. So let's gear up and get out there, warriors. We've got a war to fight. World War G. Remember, not tanks and guns, information. And not defense and national security per se, but economics. We're looking forward to more. And yeah, talk to you guys soon. Thanks and take care.